Day 2 of the Jacksonville Jaguars training camp session is officially here. Another day, another practice with Travis Hunter, Brian Thomas, Trevor Lawrence. I mean, these guys are really putting in some work right now. Today, Travis Hunter started off the day working with the defense, or not with the defense, but doing some DB drills. Ultimately is wearing that teal offensive jersey for today. They said that they want to flop him back and forth, right? In practice. So a couple of reps wide receiver, a couple of reps at DB, and kind of just have him getting used to switching sides very quickly, right? Now, prior to this, they were just doing one day defense, one day offense, one day defense, right? Going back and forth like that. But now he's kind of implementing a daily thing where he's going back and forth, which I think should help prepare him for the start of this season if they really do plan on starting him at both sides of the ball. Let me know in the comments down below before we dive into this video what you think is going to happen with Travis Hunter. But before we really dive into today's video, do me a big favor, guys. Go follow all of the Jaguar media members on Twitter or X, especially my guy Jamal up here, man. He does such a great job posting all of these videos. I mean, you can go through his Twitter. You're going to see highlights from almost everything during the practice. So definitely go check them out if you haven't already done so. Here's a clip of Trevor Lawrence throwing the ball in warm-ups. Again, working with this center, trying to build that chemistry early on. So we're going to deep dive into all the news, notes, highlights, observations in this video. Like I said, go follow the reporters if you haven't already done so. And with that being said, let's just dive into today's practice. However, I do think one of my favorite things about this team heading into this season is the wide receiver room. I think with Travis Hunter alongside Brian Thomas, I think they could have a ton more versatility. When you look at teams who, we're probably going to start shadow coveraging Brian Thomas because of the year he is coming off, but now you add Travis Hunter, you really can't run without two high safeties. And if you do run with two high safeties, well, then you just have a yes-no read. Whichever guy the safety doesn't go over to, you throw the ball to, right? So the safety, goes over to Brian Thomas, throw it up to Travis Hunter, he'll go up and get it, and vice versa, right? But if you only come out or do come out in two high safeties, well, now you have Travis Etienne, right? You have Tank Bigsby, you have LaQuinn Allen, right? You also have Tuin, right? So you have four running backs you can trust. So once they get in those two high safety sets, boom, run the ball. When they have one eye safety, take your shots down the field. I think this offense is going to be dynamic with BTJ and Travis Hunter. He's going to be deadly. And then you have Dyami Brown as well, who I believe was in this video in the front area. Dyami Brown, man, he can stretch a defense, man. He can get behind the defense and create nightmare problems. We're also going to really be focused on this offensive line. They've done a decent job this offseason adding talent. Yes, you have Walker Little, the former second-round pick a couple years back. You have Ezra Cleveland. He came over from Minnesota at some point in time, right? You also have Robert Hainsey. Now, this was probably one of the best centers on the market outside of Drew Dahlman, who ended up going to, I believe, the Chicago Bears. So Robert Hainsey's former Tampa Bay Buccaneer. He's a guy that was on a really good offensive line, and I think he's going to be a day one upgrade to this team. You also add Patrick McCarry from Baltimore. I don't love him, but I do think, again, he's an upgrade to what they had. And then you obviously have Anton Harrison, who's number 77 here, former first-round pick, and I believe 23, if I'm not mistaken. You also draft Wyatt Milam. You also have Javon Foster, Chuma Edoga coming over from Dallas, and Fred Johnson. So the offensive line depth is a lot better than it was in previous years. But if this line can kind of get together and be better this year, they could, again, have a dominant offense. Now, last season, there's McCarry right there, obviously. This season, or last season, the Jacksonville Jaguars ranked 26th in the NFL in points per game. 26th. They ranked 19th in the NFL in yards per carry, 25th in rush yards per game, 20th in rushing touchdowns per game. They're actually pretty damn good in terms of keeping Trevor Lawrence kind of healthy in the pocket. They ranked 7th in the NFL, top 10 when it came to QB sack percentage allowed. So again, offense was pretty good last year, protecting the quarterback, but in other areas they just weren't great. Hopefully this year they improve even more, especially in the running game, man. If you can run the football when teams come out with two high safeties, you're going to have a lot of success. All right, now they aren't allowed to show 7-on-7s or 11-on-11s. Maybe some fans will record some things that I might be able to put into the video. But we're going to discuss everything that happens and takes place during those 11-on-11s. Jamal does a great job, kind of writing down and tweeting out every single play. So we're going to break it down like that in just a second. Before we dive into that, guys, do me a big favor. Hit the like button if you haven't already done so. It helps out the channel so much. And if we can get over, let's just say 500 likes on this video, we will post non-stop Jacksonville Jaguar videos throughout the entirety of not only training camp, but preseason football, regular season football. We're going to be breaking it all down for you. So make sure you guys join the family. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. It is free. It doesn't cost anything. And make sure you guys turn on post notifications so when I do post these videos, especially during the season, and I'm breaking down some all 22 coaches film, you guys are able to see them. But with that being said, let's kind of dive into more of the video and talk about, you see Liam Cohen interacting with Travis Etienne quickly there. I think Liam Cohen's going to be a good coach here. But let's get more into 11-on-11s. Actually, we do have a little bit more footage here that we're going to talk about. Here's a little bit more Travis Hunter, Trevor Lawrence trying to build up that chemistry for the start of this season. Again, running a quick little speed out, getting the ball, turning up the field. Easy stuff, warming up before those 7-on-7s and 11-on-11s truly begin. Here we go with Brian Thomas Jr. He's also getting in some reps here with Trevor Lawrence. Quick comeback routes, turn up the field, run the ball again. Warming up here before they start team drills. All right, here we go. So the start of 11-on-11s here. The first thing that I've noticed over the past couple of, not even days of training camp, but also going back to mandatory minicamp, it seems like Tank Bigsby is getting a lot of those initial snaps. When they get their first 11-on-11 rep, it seems like Tank's in the game first. I don't know if we want to take that with a grain of salt or if we want to take it as is at face value, but first rep here, Trevor Lawrence short pass to Tank Bigsby completed, right? 11-on-11, Trevor Lawrence handoff to Tank, found a little bit of space, looks like it was a successful handoff, right? Next one, Trevor Lawrence to De'Ami Brown, deep pass, incomplete. Jones was in coverage. Then they switched to Nick Mullins. He hit Parker Washington with a short pass. Then had a handoff to Tootin. Cephas is out there blocking for him. Again, if you can block as a wide receiver and you do it at a high level, you're probably going to make the team, even if you're wide receiver 4, 5, 6 on the team on the depth chart. Cephas, that is definitely a good thing to be doing out there blocking, okay? Next one was Nick Mullins handoff to Travis Etienne. Let's see if we have any more here before we start the next one. So Tootin we saw. Okay, there was a little bit more here. So we handed off to Tootin right here. So then we get to a handoff to Travis Etienne. So now Etienne's playing with the backups on this specific drive. Interesting. Tootin is also getting into the game with Nick Mullins here. Nick Mullins to Quentin Morris was wide open, pass through his hands, incomplete. Not a good look for Quentin Morris. Trevor Lawrence handoff to Tank. So again, we're getting back to Trevor Lawrence, and Tank Bigsby seems to be the guy taking a lot of these reps. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think, and do you take it with, at face value, or are you more like, it's probably just, early in camp, and they'll probably even things out as time goes on. Johnny Mundt, short pass, incomplete, dropped it when Devin Lloyd hit him. Handoff to Tootin. Okay, so this is the first rep that we've seen Trevor Lawrence, at least with them getting the ball. The first rep that we've seen with Trevor Lawrence that Tank hasn't gotten the ball, Etienne hasn't gotten the ball. The second running back that got in the ball with Trevor Lawrence was Tootin. Interesting. Nick Mullins, handoff to LaQuinn Allen. That looks like it's it for now, but we'll dive right back in. Oh, here's another one. So we actually do have some more here. So we got Wolford to Hunter Long was in his hands. Ransaw dug it out. I do like Ransaw a good amount. He's a good player. Okay, Wolford handoff to Tank. Tank found. Oh no, nice move. Looks like probably Tank Bigsby there. Another move for Tank. Okay, he's getting a lot of these reps right now. All right, we got a few more that I want to break down. Third down, 7-on-7s. Trevor Lawrence to Brian Thomas. Pass completed to the outside with Lewis in coverage. We had one completed to Hunter Long. We had another one to Parker Washington. Foye was there for a quick stop. Again, these are just third down, so we're trying to convert on third downs every single time. So it looks like they're going to be passing a lot. Basically a passing drill. Pass complete in the soft spot zone. This was to Travis Hunter, so this is his first action from Trevor Lawrence, getting a nice little target right there and a catch. Nick Mullins comes in, passes one to Parker Washington. We had one completed deep to Joshua Cephas, who is continuing to get a little bit of hype here in practice with some good blocks. And then another big time catch down the sideline. Great throw, over the shoulder catch. Beautiful job. Pass intercepted by Antonio Johnson. Okay, all right. Name I like to see here. We had one to Irwin. Timing was off. Daniel Thomas, the former Auburn DB, dropped the interception. Trevor Lawrence to Brenton Strange. Looks like he'll be the starting tight end this season. But Lewis had a diving PBU. Brian Thomas, pass complete underneath. And that looks like it's going to be it. Now, there might be a little bit more, but we are going to end the video here, guys. Hit the like button, subscribe, join the family, turn on post notifications if you want more of this coverage. Go follow Jamal, man. I'm telling you, you guys will not regret it. You guys will basically know what's happening every single play. So with that being said, like button, subscribe, join the family, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.